What's going on? I want to talk to you guys a little bit about shop safety. Now, if you're a woodworker, you already know this, but if you want to be new to woodworking, if you're just getting into woodworking, there's an unavoidable fact, right? We put our hands in front of machinery that can take them off or cause really serious damage in an instant. Whether it comes to like a bandsaw with a huge blade like this, this thing cuts like 18-inch thick hot maple for me all day long. Just imagine what it's going to do to your fingers. With the joiner, you can see that it has a bunch of little blades on it, and it spins pretty rapidly, right? And if you put your hand in front of that thing, trust me, there's going to be nothing to reattach. Most people who get hurt on the joiner, they get the heel of their palm on the back end of their right hand, and that's what gets damaged. Now, over here at the table saw is probably where I've had the most close calls of anywhere else in my shop. It's because I spend the most time behind my table saw. And I thought it would be fun to talk to you a little bit about when I got introduced to this saw. It was probably in 1977. I was in the 6th grade. I was like 10 years old, and I went to an after-school program, from my middle school. And I went to the Blue Hills Regional Voc Tech. Warriors, what's up? I went to school there for high school. And when I went to the after-school program, when I came to the table saw, the instructor basically, introduced me to some sort of variation of this type of push stick. It's a piece of plywood, it's 3/4 thick, and it just has a little heel on it. And what it does, we all know, it does this right here, right? You're supposed to use it when you go past the table saw blade. Now, I use this, system or this little gizmo or a variation of this gizmo for over 35 years. In 1999, I went to the Bennett Street School, and they had a fancier version of what that is, right? And I continued to use that. And in 2006, one of the very first videos I did for you guys, me and Al made one of those push sticks in his shop. And I used it and I was comfortable with it, you know what I mean? Until I actually got hurt. One day in 2005, I was working on a piece of federal furniture and I was making some caulk beading, and it was just really thin stock, like 3/4 thick. And basically what happened was I was cutting like this, right? And I grabbed my push stick and it hit the back end of my table. So stupidly, I put it down. I took my left hand and I reached over my table saw blade. We all know that's a no-no, right? So I was paying attention to my left hand, wasn't paying attention to my right hand, and my thumb went right over the blade. I got like 14 stitches, and it's been a constant reminder of what not to do since it happened. And believe it or not, after that accident, I continued to use a variation of this style of push stick, even when I got my national television show in 2010. And in 2000, was it my second season, 2011 maybe, I was at a trade show and I met Bruce Wang and his dad, and they make the gripper, right? And he came over to me and he said, "Hey Tommy, what's it going to take for you to, use this in your shop?" I mean, let's be honest. When I first saw it, I was like, "What, are you kidding me? I'm not using this brick at my table saw or anywhere in my shop." But to his credit, him and his dad came up to my shop and they taught me the importance of this gripper. This grip block has totally changed the way that I do anything here in my shop. It is super safe and it's huge. It sits right here. It has a handle on it. And I have the utmost confidence when I go over my blade that I'm not going to get hurt. And like I was saying, I'm not the safest guy in the world. And look, I got a couple of them. And if you look at these things, you can see where and when I've run over my table saw blade. So I would much rather these grippers take the abuse from that table saw blade than my fingers. Over here at the joiner, I always reach for this grip block. Not only because it's super safe, but it's really comfortable. So no matter where I am in position on my joiner, right, these things are super easy. And they have this little thing on the back of it. It's called the heel hook. And what it does is it grabs the back end of a piece of stock. So when you go over the joiner, it keeps the heel of your palm from interacting with that cutter head. Now, you know what? We could all use better safety protocol here in our shop, right? Especially me. I'm like a nut, but at least, with MicroJig's help, I've managed to keep all my fingers attached to my body, and I still have my eyeballs in my head. So if you want to learn more about these products, just go to the link below, because they have a ton of videos that are here to try to help you become a safer woodworker too. You know, it's all about process, right? And I'm trying to do a better job. You're trying to do a better job. And they are doing a great job making sure that we keep our fingers attached to our body. So until the next time, I'll see you later.